Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry that if anything, I'm even less prepared than normal. Sorry to say. My excuse is that, long story, but basically we sold our house to a developer and suddenly found out on Thursday that I should have moved all of it by Wednesday, and I thought I had another month to do that. So I have been somewhat busy. But also, yes, we have been pretty busy with RISC related things. We've still got various projects on the go, some of which I can't yet say anything about, but will be quite beneficial. I don't know how many people managed to make Richard's talk first thing. Well, very briefly, he can't say an awful lot, and if you really want to know more, go and see Richard on the Orpheus stand. But it's a project that's raised a significant sum of money to do a RISC project. And it sounds very interesting, very exciting, because I have signed the relevant NDA, so I can't say really much more, but it sounds really quite good, and I think should be good for, well, everyone RISC related. What we do is quite varied. We've actually got some new mice that actually can be used on RISC-PC, because they're serial mice, but they're serial mice that are compatible with the RISC-PC. Not all serial mice are, and it's a fact it's a 3-button mouse, because Acorn type mice haven't been available for ages, and the PS2 Mouse Mini from Stuart Tyrrell, well, I think these are maybe possibly the last two in existence, new and unsold in the world. So we managed to source these, and there is a driver that is available for pre-RISC machines, and I thought it was a little bit sluggish compared with the mouse connected directly, but at least one user has said, oh no, I've actually moved over now to using one of these as my main mouse. So it's certainly usable for normal type use, because yeah, as you may know, even second-hand mice are selling on eBay without a warranty for 50 quid. Then talking about mixing new and old, a lot of people now have, I know, things like RISC-PC and an Ionix, and then an up-to-date machine or something. How do you mix the two together with a KVM? Because you've got VGA and HDMI or DVI and USB and PS2 to deal with. So this KVM is quite a useful one in that it accepts both DVI-I, that's basically analog, VGA is the red, green and blue. And so using one of these, you input with the appropriate cable your RISC-PC or Ionix using the DVI-I, then you connect up your HDMI or DVI-based output computer to the DVI socket, and then into this socket we supply a cable that on the end of it has both DVI and VGA. Right, for the keyboard and mouse, you do have to use a PS2 keyboard and mouse, but the thing is, of course, you can get USB to PS2 adapters, so modern computers can be connected up easy using one of these, and so they're a useful way of keeping your things going without having to have multiple monitors, multiple keyboards and mice on the desk. One of the other things that we have done and has been very useful is switch USB cables. One of the first things we found was the Raspberry Pi didn't have a power on-off switch. A number of people said, oh, can I have basically a micro USB extension lead with a switch in the middle? So we were offering those, and then we realised that anything that's USB powered, this is a USB A to A extension lead with a switch in it. Right, then moving on to something that was launched at the Southwest show is USB tablet with pressure sensitivity. The driver for it has been written to be compatible with the PayPal that used to be done a long time ago, and that did mean that basically by utilising that API, Photodesk just works with it straight away without any changes to Photodesk. And it offers pressure sensitivity and normal usage of it. There's no other program at the moment that utilises pressure sensitivity, but in the meantime it can be used just to replace the mouse. So if you're actually wanting to physically draw around something on your bit of paper, you can use it for that. Then you've got the PyTop Pro. It's based on the PyTop, but PyTop Pro to say PyTop RISC. So you have the Pi in there, and under this board controls the screen, the keyboard, etc., with its dedicated loudspeaker. This space can be used to hold a nano router. Now the nano router basically means it receives Wi-Fi and has a special cable that plugs into the Pi's Ethernet, and as far as the Pi is concerned, it's connected to the internet. It's just as if you had it plugged into your standard network. And the latest version of Otter will allow you to actually set up the network on the nano router. Not as simply and straightforward as your standard laptop. It's a little bit more involved, but it can be done. It's 13.66 by 768 screen. The keyboard is not the best in the world, but if you're needing it on the move, it does the job, it works. Not particularly cheap, but it is effectively the first RISC laptop since the Acorn A4, which is just a few years ago, and of course that cost, if I recall correctly, £2,499 to buy, so you can buy 5 of these for the same price as one of those. Then we move on to basically the new machines. This is Case A, which we use for both the Rapido IG, the iGet-based system, and the Rapido TI, the titanium-based system. Now, they both have their pros and cons. Basically, the CPU in both Rapidos is the next generation to the CPU in the other machines, which are the same CPUs in the Panda board. Chris Hall's done some very good benchmarking on his website. You can have a look at that and you'll see some quite interesting things in some machines being very quick on one thing and very slow on another, but overall the Rapido X comes out slightly ahead of the Rapido TI, and they're both quite a bit ahead of the RX6, because one of the other things is because not only are they using the later generation CPU, but they also run at basically the clock speed 50% faster. The Rapido X benefits from the microprocessor board that we developed that allows you to control power, so you have a soft power, so you press the button, it turns on. When you do a shutdown, it turns the power off, or you can hold the power switch in for 4 seconds and it turns it off, just like you would expect on a standard PC. Well, thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you over the sand.